Welcome back one and all, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Torment, Tides of Numenera. I have been giving this quest an insanely huge amount of thought. I read all through the things again, and I've come to my conclusion on who the killer is, and you can agree or disagree with me if you want, but I actually believe Mallet. I believe he's a brute, but I don't think he's killed anyone while he's been here.
Trust and
I believe
honesty are our
Kazai,
bonds.
because she is a cannibal and she eats for memories and respect. I believe the Devourer of Wrongs, because he wasn't there. And I believe Imbatu because he has an airtight alibi, which only leaves Kiyatawa. I don't believe her version of the events, and I'm going to be turning her in. I have more questions about the trouble going on in the underbelly. I've spoken to all of you, and I think I know who the murderer is. Ah, he says, looking uncomfortable. Good. Whereas decades ago, I would handle the investigation myself, but I am perhaps a little past my prime. He drops his voice to a whisper. His breath is sour, and a wild light dances in the deep places of his eyes. Bring your suspicions to Folsom. He will take the correct actions. He always does. Okay.
Whatever.
Folsom it is. We'll go turn her in to the investigator. And then we will be done the murder quest. Once and for all. I actually thought about this quest a good deal while I was at work today. I reread the conversation log. Or actually I watched my own video and watched myself read the conversation log and pondered it. Really gave it some significant thought. The fat man shifts his gaze to Matkina, and his expression hardens further. Matkina, you will tell me if you know anything about this murder, he says, gesturing at the bloody floor with a ringed hand. And if you are responsible, you will reveal the name of your employer, now. You know me better than that, she growls. Or should. Should I, he says. Very well. Lend your expertise to the task at hand, Matkina. Find me the killer. I suggest you try your hardest. He smiles tightly and returns his gaze to you, waiting for you to speak. I know who the murderer is. Do you? He says, a gleam in his eyes. Tell me. The young woman, Kiyatawa.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Interesting, he says. A quiet woman, somewhat fragile. I have sensed instability in her, but not the aptitude for violence. I'll be interested to learn what my people can extract from her. He signals to his bodyguards. They slip from his side and flit towards the Dendra Ohur chapel at a flat run. Let's see what happens. Sometime later, the bodyguards race back to Folsom's side. One of them whispers in his ear and he nods. Kiyatawa has already gone, he says. She must have suspected you were close to proving her guilt. At least she has fled. I doubt she'll return. He growls deep in his throat. If you ever see her again, feel free to do the same thing to her that she did to my people. He gestures to one of his bodyguards, and she hastens forward with your reward. Folsom looks away. Farewell, godling. What's our reward?
Yes.
It didn't tell me what my reward was, damn it. Was it something cool? What's a warm... Oh, it's an oddity. A book. Eyes of the Finite. It's pretty good. It's a sucker punch thing. Fleetfoot Moss. Another oddity. A gun. Another oddity. Shadow Step is a good bonded item. It, what's this move? Heal. Nothing. Evasion. And might. Okay. We're still using our healing sword. It's a pretty good weapon. And we're using our, what was this bronze sphere for? Let's look at it. Actually, this is a fist-sized bronze sphere that you removed from a trans-dimensional space inside of your head. Its surface is covered in interlocking spirals. Let's use it. Let's see what happens. The metallic edges of this engraved globe press into your palm. Interlocking spirals spin over its surface, pulling at your thoughts and places in your mind. Before your eyes, segments of the spirals rise from the sphere with whispering clicks, forming detailed sigils. Buttons. Let's hold the orb up to the light. Light is faintly visible through the curves of the orb's inner spirals, but only just. You see flickers of movement within, mechanisms perhaps. I'm gonna press the button showing a pair of joined rings. The button yields easily beneath your thumb. You hear Tiber's chuckle in your head. A large number of people seem to be panting, sighing, and moaning in his general vicinity. Interesting. The sphere connects you to people you have met in the real world, and more than that, you sense at some instinctual level that it can transport them to you if you call them while pressing the button and they're willing to come. The circle interlocking hand and mirrors. You press the button with your thumb and instantly feel eyes, countless eyes, outnumbering the stars turned towards you, seeking your identity and your secrets. Callistage. Callistage and her sisters. The cage sigil? You press the cage sigil from your thumb. You hear Algern's voice in your head, as though from a great distance. Doesn't make sense, he mutters, accompanied by the clink of tools. It's like this thing wants to be broken. Okay, so we have a teleporter. That is pretty cool.
Yes. Now.
Really cool, actually. I have an idea
Fine.
of where we're gonna go. This may or may not work. Fair warning in advance, this might be a gigantic waste of time. I'm going back to the Changing Gods Sanctuary, and I'm going to pull Callistage there. Hopefully she'll come.
Happy to help.
And if we are just to walk down here... Luckily all the doors have remained open, that's nice of them. Also we gained a level, that's pretty good too. We should probably do that as well, but first let's call a person. We have to dismiss somebody first. We are going to dismiss...
You can do this.
Rin temporarily, I think. Sorry,
Yes?
Rin.
Forward.
Let's level up first, though. Okay, we can increase our stat pools or our efforts. Let's go with stat pools. We're gonna go with... maybe just 2 intellect. 1 intellect, 1 might. Nah, just go 2 with intellect. That's a good idea. Okay, that one's done. He also has a level. I can do effort or stat pools with him. I'm gonna do stat pools. I'm gonna give him just a might, I think. Just 2 might. There we go. He's a little bit better at smacking people around.
God who helps you.
What's going on?
I think it's best we part. What? Why? You said you would help me. Is this something I did? No. We can't kick her out. She might not come back. Okay, Medkina will kick her out for a sec.
All right, out with it.
We should part ways. I thought we were accomplishing our goals. I don't mind saying this comes as a bit of a surprise. If you need me, I'll be at my home in the Cave of Last Words. I've got some unfinished business. Cool. That makes it nice and easy. We can just summon her back after we get rid of Callistage again. So, let's press the Orby. Callistage, I need you to join me. This is Callistage's voice inside of your head. Oh, it's you, dear. Of course, I'll be right there.
This should be useful. My thing.
Put the orb away. So she is here. We're going to quick save.
Yes.
And I want to press this thing. As you approach the machine, Callistage rushes to examine it more closely. This device, your sire used it to maintain access to the datasphere. I must know how. Did he leave notes nearby? Let's try to remember. We can easily remember even without any sort of effort because we have those edges. You feel an itching at the base of your skull. Suddenly your right hand starts moving of its own volition, jabbing down to touch the nearby floor in a frenzied but purposeful series of movements. Next to your feet, a stone compartment slides open and reveals a leather-bound journal within. Callistage approaches with reverence. May I? She asks, holding out her hands for the book. Of course. Read up. She turns it over in her hands, examining every inch of the binding. Your sire always has such marvelous craftsmanship, she murmurs, slowly releasing the drawstring that binds it closed. As she flips through the pages, slowly at first, then faster, you catch sight of diagrams, notations, and drawings. All of them are your sire's machines, beneath the city of Sagus. Thank you, Callistage breathes without looking up, and moves away to continue her study of the book's contents. Yes, interesting. She catches you looking at her. His observations on the dead sphere are fascinating. Nothing I can share yet, it's purely conjecture. The information must be powerful, or else he wouldn't have hidden it. She huffs. Well put, dear. We shall see. She raises an eyebrow and waits. I guess that's it for now.
All right.
I'm poking the thing again. There's nothing new? Well, slightly disappointing.
Shall we?
No, we shall.
Yes.
Shan't. We shan't. We need to part ways again. She sighs.
Well then, farewell. For now. You won't be gone long.
I really like her multiple glowy thing. That's pretty cool. I will always say that that is a really cool effect. Let's get what's her face back. Metkina. Button with the dagger. Metkina, come here.
Deadly.
Fine.
And we're off. There are 2 ways out. Let's go this way. Oh, that is our way out. Hang on, let's go back down. There's another door, I thought.
All right.
Where does the other door lead, though? Cool mirrors. Oh, it's just a machine. Right then. Is there a faster way out of here? What's this thing again? Right, no interfacing
Alright.
for us. Alright, let's just leave normally then. We could use a rest, and then we will move on to our next quest, I guess, which is going to be... What's our next quest? Ashen Imitation is one of them. Enter the Infested Fathom. We're not ready for that quite yet. Let's investigate the victim's house in Cliff's Edge. That's our next quest.
Happy to help.
That is what we are going to do. After we rest, we desperately need to take a nap first, though. Our characters are not feeling too well. Well, they're fine in terms of health, but we are almost all out of stat thingies.
Alright, here I go.
Like our efforts in might are low, in speed are completely gone, intelligence completely gone. Oops, excuse me, hiccup. Rin is a really good healer, but she really sucks at everything else.
Learning begets doing.
You know what, we're already in Cliff's
Or
Edge, so we might as well
boy.
just investigate the murder house over here. First let's talk to
Feeling begets
Medelia
learning, I
Glittering.
guess.
I kinda wanna know what she's all about. I think I will take Bao after all. The color drains from her face. Wordlessly, she lifts a hand. Bao scampers crawl into her palm, whiskers twitching furiously. Medelia's body shakes with suppressed sob as she leans forward and whispers a few words to the tiny rodent. Then she holds out her palm and demonstrates the mechanism which puts Bao in her strong glass home. Every child should know unconditional love, she says, pressing a duplicate of the mechanism into Rin's hand. Please take good care of her. She folds her hands in front of her, head bowed as the 2 remaining rodents circle unevenly above her. The cat meows plaintively when Bao disappears from sight. Medelia makes no move to hush her. I feel sort of like a monster, but at the same time, I really wanted one. Time to make some money back. Okay, now we need more spray flesh. We'll just take it all. And what else does she have? Psychic detonation. That's pretty cool. That's a nice cipher, actually. Bonded item. +1%. Oh, it's... We already sold her one of those. Okay. Let's go investigate. If I were the murdered person, we're probably this one. It's the only one we can really interact with. Also, there's a lot of thugs and stuff here.
I know what it's like to be alone and scared, Rin. I'm sorry for you.
The salty air only partially mutes the cloud of putrid sweetness clinging to this jumble of fallen wood, stone, and iron. Until recently, this was somebody's home, but the unstable ground must have caused it to collapse. Let's search for clues. You shift aside broken pieces of furniture and small pieces of rubble, but you find nothing of value. After a short while, you realize what has happened. Someone has already picked through the ruins and taken the more accessible valuables. You stand back, concentrating. Nothing about the pile of stones is familiar, but the view from where the door once stood, a boundless horizon falling into the sea, is.
Making a note.
This appears to be the house where the cast-off once lived, but either he left no clues of his identity, or they were taken by the scavengers. It might be helpful to ask around the area to see if anyone spotted someone looting the house. Let us study the horizon first. Fingers of wind rake at your face. You squint into the sunlight, trying to remember. You've stood here before. You know you have. Letting your thoughts untangle. The skyline tilts and you stagger as the memory engulfs you. You grip the edge of the crude banister, grimacing at the sea. The calm of the sea no longer touches you as it once did. Nor do you realize does this body. You smile at your own impatience. Your restlessness must rival the ocean itself.
Making a note.
A gust of salty air bears the memory away in ribbons, leaving your mind aching and dry atop the ruins of the house. There's little doubt now the changing god and the cast-off killed by the sorrow once lived here. Let's dig through the pile. Not you. You suck at digging. You are decent at digging. Stat pool spent on effort restored. The smell intensifies as you heave aside a slab of ceiling. A swarm of startled insects spins away into the sky, revealing the body of a young woman, torn and crushed. An invisible hand rips the air from your chest and the strength from your legs. You fall, feeling a presence close around you, a heat on your back. I'm gonna who's there? Your words are a whisper. You can barely breathe now, and the heat fills you like a fever. Suddenly a cool hand covers your burning eyes. A smooth arm folds over your stomach.
Updated my
And just like that, the heat is gone. You whirl around, no one is there. But you sense something has changed in the labyrinth. In the labyrinth, you say. A new reflection, you say. I need someone to kill me.
Here. Now.
I think Makina can send me to the labyrinth, can't she?
You want to talk? Start talking.
No, not yet. How do I die again? We need to get to the labyrinth. We can use the mirrors beneath the city, I remember that. Let's go rest first, and then we can try and die. Oh no, we can talk to, that one girl in the caravanserai, I think.
On it.
The innkeeper who can talk us into a trance. Then we can go back to the labyrinth through her. But first, let's rest. Resting is important because we have no stats left. Also, just as a reminder to everyone, April 6th, Utopia for Stellaris comes out. Super excited about that. It's going to be pretty damn good, I think. There's a lot of changes happening, and I will be doing a Let's Play on that expansion, so. In conjunction with a Mask of the Betrayal one. Mask of the Betrayer, I should say.
Again.
Oh, there we go.
Fine.
Finally. Let's go up to the government district and then across to the Actually, wait. No. Yeah, we have to go the other way. Government, then Caravanserai. We'll go jump into the labyrinth. And then, either in this video or the next one, we will be talking to our companions, because there are probably some story elements we're missing by not talking to them.
You bet.
And I should probably get on that.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Omadon is still there. That poor guy. He's kind of a D-bag, but still. Put me into a trance, please. And into the labyrinth we go. Now, what has changed? There's an empty reflection here. And 2 open doors. 3 open doors.
On it.
It's not slightly sketchy at all. A woman-shaped hole in the air stands before you, her palms outstretched, and you sense something different. A smell, if emotions could smell. It is sharp confusion and a sense of displacement. Somehow this woman's shade knows she does not belong here in your mind.
I'll remember that.
Oh, says the spectre, strolling up beside you. A reflection from a different cast-off, isn't it? He studies the outline's outstretched hands. She's lost something, he says after a moment. Something out in the world that she misplaced or was taken from her. If you want to draw her here, you'll have to find it. You turn back to the woman-shaped void. She continues to face you, hands held out imploringly, ignoring the specter completely. What is it you want? For a second, another outline flickers in her outstretched hands, a box or cube-like shape, and it is gone, and it doesn't return. Who are you? The woman-shaped void does not respond in any way. The tides within you, however, do. You can feel them uncoiling from you, reaching into the gap for whatever is lost within. Perhaps you can use them to pull the woman into being. I wouldn't, he says conversationally. I mean, it'll probably work, but there's no telling what will happen. Just off the top of my head, it might give you the worst headache you've ever had, but it will probably be worse than that. Okay, let's try it.
I'll remember that.
Let's force the reflection to take shape. You plunge your mind into the frozen void before you, looking for the source of this reflection. There, a star shines in a cold, crumbling bastion, far along the forgotten borders of the labyrinth. Without thinking, you tangle your thoughts around it, her, and pull her back into your mind. The woman hurls out of the icy dark, eyes wide and bloodshot, filling the outline until the outline is her. She stumbles into your labyrinth, wincing, hugging herself. Oh, the specter says, turning away from the stunned woman. You did it anyway. Okay, I'll, give you two some room to talk. You turn to the young woman. Something is wrong. She clutches her face, gasping, fingers digging into her scalp, baring her teeth like a wounded animal. Hurts, is all she says. Are you alright? She shakes her head, tangling her fingers into her hair. It comes loose in her grip like dead grass. You tore me loose. Can't be here. No link. The air hurts. Eats. Focus. I need to know about your father, the cast-off. Orciello? She says, her staring eyes finding you. Her voice is a whisper, rough as broken glass. Cast-off.
I'll remember that.
I was hearing voices telling me to be... She doubles over, coughing, clutching her belly, telling me to be someone else. He found me, helped me. A line of blood from an open wound in her hairline runs down her cheek. Then one day, the house fell on me. He wanted... She gasps and a tear slices down her other cheek. Wanted to die.
Making a note.
She falls silent, but you don't need to be told what happened next. You've seen the statue after all. It was grief that drove Orciello to seek death in the sorrow's arms. Dark red blood seeps through the young woman's clothes, and she reaches out for you. Blisters rise on her forearms in a stippled flood. I have everything I need. How do I send you back? In response, she gurgles as a great bloody rift splits her arms, bite through her shoulders, and cut her throat. Her eyes bulge and burst. Orciello's daughter falls apart in a mangled jumble of limbs. That is grim. Ooh. Maybe that was the wrong way to do that. Maybe we should reload that. I don't think that was very good of us, actually. And we're playing a good group. We can get that information later once we find the box. One sec, I'm just gonna pause. Back, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to leave her alone.
Yes.
We're going to go try and find her box and do this the proper way. Now, there are several open areas. We know that that one is the stairs, and we know this one is the underground area, so we probably don't need to go to either of those yet, actually. We need to find more of that woman's imitations first. You could have waited for my journal before you teleported me back out. Just saying. So we now know what's in our labyrinth, and we know what we need to get. Some sort of box. Enter the infested fathom. Oh, did we? I thought we did this. Yes, okay. The Sorrow's Prey. We don't need to do that. We need to do these invitations. We should look around for more women. Is this one of them? No. No one else around here. We're gonna look around for named people, of course. And just quickly talk to them and see if they
I'm ready.
come up as somebody of particular interest. There's Tiber, our friend. Friend's really a strong word for Tiber. There's Tiber, our acquaintance. Probably just zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's check the next district. We're looking for any women in Sagitt's Cliffs that may or may not be a member of that woman's imitation tribe. Also, we didn't really look what bow does. We bought it, but then we didn't really look at it. What is a bow? +2 resistance grants abilities. Blinded, movement speed, bunch of stuff. So it is an artifact. Let's give it to her. Oh, -2 intellect. You know what? That doesn't really matter too much for her. For now, anyways. Okay, let's take a look around. So, Sijin's a woman. Drones still circle around the uniformed woman's head. She's whispering to one of them as you approach, but she waves it away and smiles faintly at you. I wasn't sure I'd see you again, not Adden. You look a lot like somebody I met in the 5th Eye. She laughs aloud. In that moment, her voice is clear and rich, like that of a much younger woman, or even a teenage girl. Was she scarred? Peltast, wedded to her blade, fresh from endless battle? Actually, she was young, with a chorus of whispering voices all around her. Her face goes pale. Then I know who she was. She was the woman who haunted me when I was a girl, the woman I was supposed to become.
I'll remember that.
For as long as I can remember, I felt as though this other woman was taking shape inside of me. When I was a girl, I'd gaze at myself in the looking glass, and every day I seemed less like me and more like her. I don't remember when I abandoned my family, but I couldn't have been more than 10 or 12. They seemed like strangers to me, and I couldn't even remember who they were. I started hearing stories about the other girls like me. Older girls, younger girls, I sought them out. I learned everything I could. All the ones I met went mad. They never survived past their 20th year. It wasn't always the same death. Sometimes it was sickness, or an accident, or they ended their own lives. But somehow they always died. It was fate, and it was mine too. But you survived. I cheated, she's silent for a moment. When I was old enough to become a citizen, to sacrifice a year to create a levy, I went straight to the Order of Truth. I told them I wanted to donate as many years as I could. I didn't think it would work, she confides, but what choice did I have? When they started taking the first few years, and I aged closer to 20, each time I thought I would die. And the levy that was born for my 20th year, it was a monster. They tried to make me stop, but I refused. I made them go on. I burned through my 20s and beyond. And with every year I lost, I felt that other woman inside of me weakening, pleading, dying. I laughed as they burned the years away. When I walked into the Order of Truth, I was a teenage girl. When I walked it a few hours later, I was a middle-aged woman, but I was free. How long has this been happening to women in the city? Centuries, I think. The earliest reference I could find was about the time of Chilla, but probably goes back even further. There was an Aeon priest about 80 years ago. He thought he'd make a name for himself by discovering the cause. He found that it only affects women in Sagis, never the outlying villages. He thought it might be caused by some kind of Numenera underneath the city, but he was never able to prove anything. How old are you really then? 22. That's why I was too young to remember you when you were here last. I was a 12-year-old girl, a runaway, half mad and living in the streets. You said that the levy that was born from your 20th year was a monster? It was death. Not death the way it's personified in stories, but death like it really is. A bloated thing, festering sores, vomiting blood, and pus and excrement from every orifice. Even the Aeon priests were terrified. They burned it to a pile of ash. Okay, so we found another one. We are 2 for 2. Possibly Ayin, who knows, might be one of them. I have secrets to exchange, actually. I've met several women suffering from an insistent voice in their head. What is causing it? I can advise you on this matter. What secret will you offer me? How about a secret about my past? How about a different kind of secret? Apparently I don't have one. How about another secret about Sagis Cliffs? Mallet, one of the Dendra, killed and ate somebody who stole from him. She says, touching the air beside her neck. From what I understand of the Dendra owe her, that's hardly murder from their point of view. It is merely... She pauses. Impolite. Still, that's useful information. To answer your question, there are machines beneath the city that manipulate reality and probability and directly tamper with the minds of these women. She presses her lips together. My sources indicate that the changing god put them there, but no one knows why. She glances away from you. If you're looking to help them, perhaps you should look for the machine responsible and turn it off.
Why not?
Excellent point. I will try and do so later on. I don't know which machine it is at the moment, unfortunately, otherwise I would go do that, but... I should probably check inside buildings too. The Order of Truth. And that's it. There's only the one building here. Well, the cities are very well detailed. Beautiful, even. They're rather remote. There's not a whole lot of buildings in them. Sparse, actually, is the way I would say it. There's not a lot of inside areas. Selimary, are you one of them? Nope. Okay, Min is not a female? No. Min is not a female. Snurf is an alien thing. Lan Uring is also not a woman. Belieza is also a man.
Yes.
And Kelstij is a woman, but she's an NPC, so I don't think she's one of them. But it can't hurt to talk to her.
Oh, my scintillating wit was lure enough to bring you back, I see.
Nope.
I am the very soul of action.
Nothing in here. Okay. We are moving on then. Surely there must be at least a couple more. I can't imagine they would only send us out into the city for 2. That seems like a fairly low amount.
Yes.
Okay. We are off down into the Circus Minor. And we're almost out of time, actually. In fact, I think we are out of time, unfortunately. Okay. We will end this video here. In the next one, we will be continuing on. We're going to look around, try and find more of these people. We're also going to talk to our companions. So, like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.